At the turn of the year, Winter Storm Blair swept a flurry of ice, snow, and freezing temperatures across the United States. Lows of 0 °F, -18 °C, forced hundreds of thousands indoors and put life itself on the cooler. While most Americans stayed indoors, and rightly so, residents of the coldest inhabited city on Earth would have gladly taken the opportunity to enjoy the warmth while it's still around. That is because in Oymyakon, in eastern Russia, temperatures routinely drop below -58 °F, -50 °C. This remote Siberian village is no stranger to extremes. In 1933, it set a record low of -96.2 °F, -71.2 °C, a chilling testament to its moniker as the Pole of Cold. Nestled in the Sakha Republic, Oymakon's history as a settlement dates back to the early 20th century, when it served as a stopover for reindeer herders drawn to the area's thermal spring, ironically, the source of the village's name, which translates to unfrozen water. Today, this icy outpost hosts around 500 to 1,000 hardy residents, primarily Yakuts, and is accessible via the treacherous Road of Bones from Yakutsk, which is 576 miles away. Life in Oymyakon revolves around battling the cold. Homes are heavily insulated, often with double walls, but plumbing is virtually non-existent. Pipes freeze too easily in the permafrost. Most residents rely on outhouses for toilets. Cars are another challenge. Engines must be kept running, even overnight, or housed in heated garages to prevent the machinery from freezing solid. Fuel consumption doubles in the cold, making transportation a logistical feat. For sustenance, residents turn to cattle farming, hunting, and fishing. Yakut cows, bred to endure harsh climates, are a cornerstone of the local diet. The cold also dictates daily routines, from carefully timed outdoor activities to wrapping every inch of exposed skin to avoid frostbite in seconds. The extreme cold can also transform the human body. To fully grasp Oymakon's conditions, consider this: exposed skin can freeze within minutes at these temperatures. Even breathing the icy air can be painful. The human body faces immense physiological stress in such an environment, yet adaptation has allowed the Yakuts to endure. The Yakuts have likely developed a similarly heightened cold tolerance through generations of selective pressures. Their bodies may generate more heat and retain it better through compact builds and increased basal metabolic rates. Even short-term exposure to such cold can drive dramatic responses in the average human. Blood flow is redirected to vital organs, while extremities receive less circulation, increasing the risk of frostbite. However, the habitual exposure the Yakuts face has led to physiological acclimatization, such as improved cold-induced vasodilation, a mechanism that allows blood to flow to extremities despite freezing temperatures. However, the people of Oymyakon don't just depend on biology to survive. Survival in Oymyakon is as much about ingenuity and tradition as it is about biology. Heating is paramount. Homes rely on coal-fired stoves or wood-burning heaters, consuming vast quantities of fuel. Firewood is carefully rationed, with some households burning through 100 cubic meters of larch annually. In emergencies, flamethrowers are used to thaw frozen vehicles or equipment, a standard tool in this extreme environment. Clothing plays a critical role. Fur-lined boots made from reindeer hide and coats of thick animal pelts are staples. These garments provide insulation unmatched by synthetic materials, and layering is key. Social structures adapt as well. Community efforts are essential for survival, from shared resources like heated garages to collective snow clearing efforts. Local schools remain open unless temperatures dip below 52 °C, -61.6 °F. Even in such severe weather, life goes on. Living in Oymyakon is a testament to human resilience and adaptability. For outsiders, Oymakon's unyielding cold might seem insurmountable. But for those who call it home, it is simply life, brutal, beautiful, and a constant dance with the elements. So, while most of us might struggle in the freezing cold, the people of Oymyakon remind us of humanity's incredible ability to endure, adapt, and even flourish in the face of nature's harshest trials. All houses in the village are built of wood because it is the only building material that can withstand 100-degree temperature fluctuations. At the same time, travelers are increasingly curious about the village. Tourism has been booming recently, and agencies are also happy to recommend the village of Oymyakon. Life is not easy in the freezing cold, to say the least, because the ink in pens freezes, batteries run out, so cars run all day, there are stoves in cars, and kerosene is mixed with diesel. In the winter cold, children are dressed so much that only their eyes are visible, and they are taken to school on sledges. The women of Oymyakon have a special makeup because they wear so-called frost eyelashes. For the Yakuts, bathing is not the same as in warmer climates. The bathroom is not in the house, as it is impossible to install a sewer in the frozen ground. They usually have a washing room next to the house, where they usually shower once a week, as it requires many hours of preparation. First, they have to chop wood to make a fire, and then it takes about 5 to 6 hours for the room to be warm enough. Then they melt the ice for water and quickly wash themselves. Due to the extremely low temperatures, vegetables and fruits are very rare here, and the Yakut diet is largely of animal origin. The majority of the locals are engaged in animal husbandry and saltwater fishing, but an increasing number of them also make a living from tourism. The Yakut horse, as its name suggests, is native to this area, bred by the ancestors of the locals, and is an extremely hardy breed, able to withstand frost and, if necessary, eat snow. Since the ground is deeply frozen for most of the year, burial is a lengthy process in Oymyakon. It usually takes 4 to 5 days. As the nights get longer and the days get shorter, Oymyakon experiences 21 hours of darkness. In December 2010, there were only 13 hours of sunshine in the entire month. When the dark winter ends, the Cold Pole Festival is held to celebrate, with reindeer and dog sled races and ice fishing. But even then, tourists rarely visit, as the small village is a 2-day drive from the nearest airport, Yakutsk. Oymyakon became a populated area in the 1930s, and its heyday came during World War II, when an airport was built in the area. At the peak of its history, the settlement had nearly 2,500 inhabitants, but due to inhumane conditions, this number has been steadily decreasing, with the 2018 data reporting fewer than 900 locals. Considering the everyday life of the village in Yakutia, this decreasing trend is completely understandable, as only a few people are able to endure such extreme cold for a long time. The residents of the settlement are quite scattered, living far from each other, so in most cases they can only rely on themselves and their close family for everyday life. However, it is not cold at all in Oymyakon in the summer. Peak temperatures of around 30 degrees Celsius can occur, especially in July and August. However, mornings are cold even in summer, often dropping to around 5 degrees Celsius. So, it can be said that summer lasts for about 3 months, and harsh winter weather prevails in the area for more than half a year.